appointee.
Are we on?
It's setting up for
Okay,
live,
okay.
so.
Not pushing you, I just can't
Yeah.
tell.
We
So I don't know,
we
Brennan.
still have a couple minutes, so we're not
Then
late
I
yet.
should be on formal.
Okay. It's setting up for live,
Okay.
so.
Not pushing you, I just can't
Yeah.
tell.
We
So I don't know, Brennan.
still have a couple minutes, so we're not late
Then
yet.
I should.
There we go. Okay, it should be on now.
You want to save these till after, since he's already here?
That's up to you.
Okay, so I'm going to call this Stark County PTABOA meeting of September, 18, 2025 to order. First on the agenda are the minutes from our hearing of July 17, 2025. Has everyone had an opportunity to read them, Tori?
Yes.
And do you have any issues or corrections? If not, I will look for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second. So motions have been approved. Okay. Now we will move on to our first hearing, and this is Mr. Thomas DeCola. And Mr. DeCola, I better put my glasses on so I actually know what I'm doing. Mr. DeCola has filed an appeal on 5 separate parcels. I think we'll address with the board's permission and John's permission. We will address each of these individually.
Yeah.
So we can speak to them. So the first parcel that we are going to address is a vacant parcel on English Lake. And it's parcel number 75043610002000100011, and the assessed value for 2025, I apologize, is 7,500. And Mr. DeCola indicated on the appeal form that he believes the assessed value is better represented at $2,770. Mr. Cola,
Yes.
good afternoon. Thank you for being here. If you would tell the board why you filed this appeal, why you believe the assessed value to be in error.
Well, I was wanting to provide that the location address, I was wanting to correct that, a clerical error. It says English Lake by River. I was wanting, if you could just put 250 or 650 West. Could
Yeah,
you
that's
update
no
that?
problem. I plan on correcting it to County Road 650 West.
Okay, and then the appeal to agricultural use, because I changed the land use. I think it was being assessed at access residential, and that's not a buildable piece because it's in the floodplain. And therefore, I was requesting a non-buildable residential use and or agricultural use, or actually, I was requesting agricultural use because I devoted the land to timber harvesting. It
Okay,
says in here that if I devote the land to timber harvesting, well, then I get agricultural assessment. And that's what I'm doing.
thank you,
So
sir.
it's Indiana Code 6-1.1-4-13. C or B4, the land devoted to harvesting of hardwood timber.
Thank you, sir.
And that's pretty much all these properties. I was wanting to convert to agricultural hardwood timber harvesting. And I know some of them have we'll just do that there.
Okay, thank you, Mr. DeCola. Tori, any questions at this time, or would you like John to testify first?
No, go ahead, John.
John?
I was talking to Michelle before that I think in order for there to be agricultural use related to timberland, we need some evidence of that. we're talking about?
It's
It needs to be,
It's my understanding you need to have your timber conservation program plan filed with the DNR. It doesn't have to be in classified forest with the DNR, but you have to have an approved timber plan with the DNR.
Approved timber, yes. Well, then, that being said, I don't have a timber plan for any of this property. I just, with the rest of those properties that I have under appeal, I was just wanting you all to correct any type of clerical error upon them. And I think I might have noted that in my appeal. And since I don't have any forest plan, I could just put everything on the table or stay my appeal until I get the forest plan.
Okay,
And it doesn't have to be in classified forest, just
Yeah.
it needs to be a timber program that's been approved by the DNR.
Okay.
and you also mentioned in the complaint an issue about right of way.
are you speaking to this appeal right here,
Yeah.
John? For this
On
property?
particular parcel,
Yeah,
Okay,
what did it say about the right of way?
or maybe it wasn't on this, no, yeah, he said it joins the right of way. Yeah, I guess, you're not, I just wanted to point out that the land does include, the road right of way, your legal acreage. So therefore, that road right of way has to be deducted on the
Oh,
property
yeah.
record card, and it is
Yeah.
being deducted
Okay.
in this case, on this card.
All right.
thank you, John.
Yeah, so I found no other errors that would require any fixing on this card. I would just change the address to make it more descriptive.
Okay, so then, if I understand right, it's been decided that you've agreed to change the address from English Lake to 650 West. And the right of way has already been addressed. And Mr. DeCola understands that he needs to get an approved timber conservation plan from the DNR. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so is that all for this parcel?
That's
I
it.
If it is, we'll move on to. I'm sorry,
Because it's separately.
okay, okay, let's, yes,
So-
Tori,
I'll make a motion to change the address to County Road 650 West and no other changes. It's fine.
and I will second. Thank you. Okay, so the next parcel for Mr. DeCola is the parcel with the address of 2500 South and 650 West. And I think. Well, so do you want to speak to that, Mr. DeCola?
Yeah, I filed the appeal, I was requesting a clerical error be corrected, and that's, on the GIS map, there used to be a house there back in the 90s. But the improvements were all raised and sheds were all raised here in the notes in 2013 and before then. But the GIS map shows that there's still a house there. Not the image, but a square indicator with a circle and an address indicating it's a resident dwelling. I was wanting that removed to show that it's just totally vacant land.
John? Do you want to
Yeah,
comment?
the assessor's office doesn't control that layer. What's I think more important is how your property is being assessed, and there is an issue related to that. You look on the property record card. You are being priced at a 1 acre home site with a couple of negative influence factors, and then the excess land is residential excess, because this whole area is zoned residential. And since the house has not been there for at least 15 years, probably more than that. When a house is torn down, we often leave the home site on for at least a few years. In case there's a the properties, if it's rebuilt on the ease of the well and septic, still usable. But since this has been gone so long, I don't think that it really deserves to have a home site anymore, so I would recommend removal of the home site and rolling the 1 acre into excess residential land.
Which would do what?
Which would, I think on the notes, I calculated it out, would reduce the land total to 10,800.
It would reduce the total land value from 13,500
Right,
to,
10,800.
okay. Reduced to 10,800 by removing the home site. Yes, sir?
Right.
And then I was just requesting that you had the proper calculations of the right-of-way deductions, because there's 2 right-of-ways there. There's the 650 West and then there's the Chesapeake, Ohio Railway.
And I researched this, and what has happened is the one right of way is a separate parcel, which right down, there's 2 names on it. Have the map. Let me write what because I worked it all out.
That's one adjoining parcel under my personal name. But it used to be 2 separate parcels, yes.
In the latest deed, which is exhibit 4, I had clearly specifies a legal acreage of 1.71 acres. The legal description explicitly excludes the Pennsylvania Railroad right-of-way by describing the eastern boundary as running along the said right-of-way. The Pennsylvania Railroad right-of-way is not legally part of the subject parcel and cannot be deducted from the legal acreage. Now, there was a survey which you provided, which is dated from 2012. Now it shows your triangular parcel as being only 0.76 acres with 2 adjacent railroad right-of-ways. Between the triangle and the Pennsylvania Railroad right-of-way is a U.S. Vest Corporation right-of-way. This second right-of-way was abandoned and the acreage was combined at the petitioner's request with the smaller triangle to create the current 1.71 acre parcel. And I do have in our exhibits a copy of the form. You can have it in a copy if you want here. That shows that requesting a combination of those parcels. And that's really the reason why your parcel is larger than what the survey shows, is that the combination of that abandoned railroad right away.
Yes.
So I could not find anything wrong with the acreage and where your property is being assessed with
Well,
regard
then-
to acreage.
The deduction would be taken from the Chesapeake and Ohio upon the former pen and from 650 West onto the property itself. And that's how much, it's half of it, so it'd be 50 feet deduction that way, and then I don't know how wide.
Well, that
650
parcel
West is.
no longer exists, so the right of way of it no longer exists. It was combined with your parcel.
Yeah, but the active Chesapeake and Ohio Railway is still there. There's a double track. There used to be
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, and then there's the Chesapeake. Well, the Pennsylvania got attached to my property, and the Chesapeake's still active and adjoins my property. Therefore, since my property adjoins an active right of way, which a railway is an active right of way, I should get the deduction of 50 feet inward from the center line of the railway, and is the same as the road itself, 650 West.
Well, the railroad that's there is its own parcel, and the railroad, the right of way of that does not extend into your parcel. Your parcel includes the other right of way, which has been combined to it.
Yeah, no, but the deduction for the right of way, so you're saying I'm only getting one deduction for the 650 West?
Right.
I should be
Because you're
getting it on
legal.
the, yeah,
Yeah.
because of my legal description. You're saying it's
Yeah.
because of my legal description? So you're telling me I have to get a new legal description to get the deduction of the Chesapeake?
But if you had a legal description that described it that way. The current legal description or current deed describes the boundary of your parcel as being the along, let's see, right how I put it down here. It describes the eastern boundary as running along the said railroad right-of-way line.
Yeah, the former railway right-of-way line. They're talking about the Pennsylvania. Or there could be talking about the Chesapeake. But there's a buffer zone in between the Chesapeake and the Pennsylvania that is documented in the older records of the surveyor records. And that is found within as an anomaly within the modern surveyor records that failed to acknowledge it. There's a buffer between the two railroads, and it's not claimed by either rail company. Therefore, under the rules of operational real estate, it would be split between them or just claimed by either or. But if you want me to get a survey to get the deduction from the Chesapeake.
Yeah, I think you would have to, because your legal description matches the deed right now, and that's really all we can do.
Is that all you have on that parcel?
Yeah,
Oh, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just one that house removed off the GIS too, so it's not indicating a square and a circle.
I
as-
think that's
Yeah.
the planning commission that puts those on.
yeah, maybe you can ask the planning commission.
They always refused it. When I always asked them, they always refused it. I don't know why.
Okay, then I'm gonna make a motion for no change in this
No,
number 2.
no.
Oh,
So John recommended.
yeah, so we'll make the motion to take it down to the 10,800.
By removing the home site value.
Right.
Right.
Okay,
Get it where it needs to be, however, the GIS imagery is not the assessor's office, so.
so that's your motion?
Yep.
I will second. Okay. So the next parcel appeal, Mr. DeCola, is, there, pay attention. 6600 west, 250 south. Do you want to speak to that, Mr. DeCola?
6600 West 250 South.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this parcel here is it's a I had a permit to demo it, and I'm not totally demoed off the dwelling, but it's totally a non-residential structure that is in the process of getting demoed. And I'm looking at to check the answer, see if it's stored. I just wish that it was merged. No, this property's fine. Oh, yeah, there was a mobile home on the property. And that mobile home is gone, but I think that you indicated on here that there's just, yeah, this one structure on the property, no. But it's not really a structure, it's a non-movable structure that needs to be cleaned up.
We can call that up in our system, show the board a photo of the house. I took a photo recently of it.
Which
We
we have it.
It's unlivable.
Already,
Yeah.
so it's already down to an E+1 for the grade, and the condition is very poor, which the assessor cannot take it down any farther than that until it is completely removed. So,
Well, there is an option of south out. When something is about to fall down.
Are you recommending that, John?
No,
Are you recommending that?
I personally think the current value on the house of $3,300 is perhaps a little high.
Okay, so what's your recommendation to the board?
Well, that's based on very poor, just the standard 95% depreciation.
Right.
The other option, we'd have to go lower than that generally is we use a square foot rate where we come up with usually like $1 a square foot, maybe $1.50 a square foot.
Okay,
The base area, and usually it'll get you a number, around $1,000 or something
okay,
like that. That's up to the board. You can take a look at the house.
Oh, dear.
Keep going, there's a more recent picture,
That's from 22.
that's what,
This one,
that,
this is.
yeah, that's the most recent one.
Are you
Yeah, no
okay with
windows or
sound
doors, the
volume?
roof's
Yes, no,
blowing.
or not?
When did you get your permit for demo on that? Mr. Nicola?
I got it last year or some, or the years before that, I can't remember, but that will, is in the process of getting removed.
And you got the permit over a year ago
Yeah, it was been more.
to have it, to have it raised?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
because it used to be larger than that, and I took off the lean-tos and
Okay.
took off the decks. And I stripped the building out.
Okay.
The inside, so it's in the process.
okay,
So I think what I'd like to see happen is when it gets removed, I mean,
right.
cause.
Then
still
contact
holding-
the assessor's office.
Yeah, so when you get it removed, you can call or come into the assessor's office.
And the value will be removed.
Okay, it's not good.
I'll
That's
make
all I have to do.
the motion for that one to have him come in when it is removed and they'll redo it.
Okay, and I will second that motion. Okay. Well, we're just moving quite a lot. Okay. The next one, Mr. DeCola. Is the parcel with an address of 6740 west, 250 south.
Yeah, this property.
And it's a vacant parcel apparently.
Yeah, this property, I was just wanting the planning commission to remove the indicators of former structures on the property. And I was just trying to get an agricultural assessment upon it, and he said that I have to get a plan, so that's how that is right now. I
Right.
don't really have anything changes other than that.
Okay. So that's the same as the first one about the timber conservation plan from the file with the DNR. Okay? Okay, so
And then the
There's-
next one.
Ron has something he wanted to say about this one.
So we're gonna take off the address number, just the street, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just put the
Yeah.
street, yeah, I just want the streets on the vacant property.
You know, when I looked at this, there's also another problem. The right of way on these parcels, these are not subdivision parcels. So the right of way goes to the middle of the road, or the parcel lines go to the middle of the road. So there should be a road right of way deducted, and in this particular case, it's been overlooked. So I calculated the road, half of the road right away to the middle of the road as being 0.129 acres that needs to be reduced. It needs to be taken off and classified as a type 82 land type for road right of way. And that will leave 3.991 acres under the residential excess. And that lowers the value to 28,700 from 29,700.
okay. I'm fine with that, so. I will make a motion to accept John's changes of the right of way. Which lowers the assessed value to 28,700 and change the address of the property to, pardon me, County Road 250 South. Is there a second?
Oh,
Thank you. Okay. And the last one for Mr. DeCola. This is his property at 7310 West and 250 South.
Yeah, well, this property, the structure is totally gone. It says that there's a unlivable dwelling. It's been raised and there's only a remnant. Concrete sill remaining. So there's nothing within there. That building.
When did you raise?
I raised this, it says here, check for Ravensdown. You see, it had fire damage in 2024, but I accomplished it this year, the beginning of spring of this year.
Okay,
It's totally gone. I just have to go out there with the jackhammer.
yeah, I think I have a photo of it, verify it's gone now. The assessment date in this case is January 1st, 2025. And so, and I have a photo of the house as a couple weeks before it was still standing. So I think technically, since it was there January 1st of 2025, we have to leave it on the record. It will be taken off. In fact, it has already been taken off for next year.
Yeah, I was just wanting called 250 South, vacant land 250 South.
Yeah, we can do that since the house is gone.
Even with it being gone recently.
Well, I mean, I have no problem doing that on property record card. I can understand, especially in this particular case, since it's so recent, that planning commission might not want to take it off the.
Yeah, that's what
There
it
it
looks
is.
like now, there's nothing there. And then, yeah, so I just want to get the, right of way deduction and. It says Cash Grain General Farm, they did have a agricultural. Forest plan on it, and I probably need to update it.
Yeah, the note says that it had a woodland conservation plan and. Actually, that was back in 13. Now it's gone through several ownership changes, but those are basically related to yourself, right? The Argento.
Yeah, that was a company of my control.
Okay. So
I'll get an updated forest plan on it. But if you wanted to keep it the assessment as agricultural, that would be fine.
yeah, in fact, the reason we have kept it agricultural is we haven't had any notice to change it, and that if it had been changed to a completely different owner, we might have caught that and changed it. But in this case, we have a note that the conservation program's there and it really hasn't left your ownership. So,
Okay.
And it looks like the right of way issue's been addressed.
yeah, there's no problem with the right of way on this one.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, the improvement will be removed as of January 1, 26.
Right.
And then the address will be changed to 250 South.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's my motion.
Oh, I'll second.
And Tori seconds. Well, okay, looks like we've addressed everything. Thank you for coming in, Mr. DeCola. These proceedings are concluded. Thank you, Mr. DeCola. Have a good day.
Who
That
made the
is-
motion on the assessment of that one?
Do
What's the
what?
last one?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, was it nearly as painful?
Did you
Okay,
want the address changed basically on all of them, or was there any of them they were gonna keep the number?
He wants any that don't have a structure on them anymore to have the address removed on the property record card.
Okay, so
So there's three.
there would only be one actually for 26, and it still has that,
Right,
I think.
right. We can have it in the memo that it was formerly that address.
Yeah.
We've done that for other people as well, where we just keep it in a memo. It was formerly that address.
So. why-
so that would be the property at 600 West,
Right.
250, okay. And everything else, it'll just be the county road.
Right.
Is that correct? Okay. Okay,
The next one isn't scheduled till 2:15.
okay. So we're way ahead of schedule.
We are ahead of schedule. But remember, the mics are still live. I see you don't want to talk about anything personal. All right.
And right now, October, there's just 3 appeals, you were saying, but they do start at, pardon me, 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
correct?
so.
Okay,
And they're all relatively easy. One's a tax rep that might withdraw. One's a person I spoke with and got the feeling I explained to them that there's really not much of a case that, it's gonna be very difficult for him to make his case.
mhm,
And I showed him some evidence to support the current land value, which is his major issue,
mhm.
a nearby sale, so. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't show up. If he does, it's easy enough to handle.
Well, the other counties that I sit on a board, on their boards for, then they'll be mad and jealous at you guys because they are swamped to the gills.
This year, huh?
Yes, I am covered up.
Mhm.
So have you had a busy summer?
For appeals,
Mhm. It doesn't sound like it's been too bad.
actually, we did have more individual taxpayer appeals this year than any year before.
Really?
One year we did have more, but that included more actual number of appeals, but there was a solar company that
Oh.
appealed 69 parcels or something. but
Yeah.
it's
So
counting-
that isn't representative.
Yeah. So we did have a peak amount this year, but
So
we handled probably more than usual through the informal process, so probably as you can figure out.
so what do you think was driving that? Do you have any blanket overall feeling or not
So we
like
still
that?
had a large increase. The trending was about an 8.5% increase. It was higher the year before, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I think maybe people we're finally getting beyond the pandemic era. It seems like in the pandemic era, people were preoccupied with other things.
True, yeah. Yeah. So they couldn't be bothered with you guys. So the other counties that I sit on the boards, Michelle, they aren't recording when there's no hearings.
Oh, so I should pause it?
Well, I'm just saying they just don't because there's no
I don't,
business. There's nothing going on.
I'm not 100% sure how to pause it.
Well, I'm not suggesting, I'm
I
can do it in
can
the future.
say for next time.
kiddo, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm not technology savvy.
Hey.
Once someone tells me how to do it, I can do it,
Mhm.
but I do not do the whole YouTube and Zoom stuff myself, so.
Yeah. So there. We no luck finding another board member.
No,
Nope, nobody wants.
no,
to
so if anybody is watching who would like to be a board member, submit your application with the auditor's office. Yes. And I'm sure the council or commissioners, because I can't remember which one of them has the open seat. want to appoint someone who's qualified to some degree to be on the board. That might be part of the problem. I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I know, some realtors and things were asked because they obviously have some knowledge of
Right.
value, property value, but
They're probably busy
yeah.
and they don't want to give up a day. They don't want to give up the time.
Right,
So that's understandable.
yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you tell them what a fun group we are. They're busy.
Right. I would play with this and try to figure out how to pause it, except for
It's,
then I'm afraid I would mess it up and be and not be able to record the rest of the hearing.
it's fine. It's fine.
Are you watching?
No, he said that.
Yeah, I don't know how to pause it. We don't have another hearing till 2:15. Is there a way to pause it? And then just like hit restart after? This is our IT gentleman.
Hello. Sorry, Michelle, honest, I didn't mean to cause trouble.
Yeah, here, pause,
Oh,
that's
well,
pause.
that's easy. And then just push play again when it's time and it'll
Push that
continue.
button again.
YouTube is still maybe still.
It says paused, so I'd imagine I can just push the play right next to it and it would continue from that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I've never paused before.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, I know what the
If I have trouble getting it going again, I
Okay.
might call you down here. What's
Okay.
your what is your extension number?
222.
223? Okay. Got it.
Okay.
If we have a problem, I'll be calling you.
Yeah, I'll ask them to see if it's still running.
He'll hear you yelling, help.
It's possible. It says it's recording paused,
Right.
Mhm.
so hopefully I just, when I hover
I
over it,
think-
it gives me a little play
Yeah,
button, so
I think
maybe just hit
It
play.
said resume recording.
Right,
That's
yeah.
the box when-
Right.
Yeah,
That's
so
gotta be it.
hopefully that is it. They're telling me the video quality is really poor, that I'm zoomed in too far. So now I'm gonna play with the remote and see if I can fix that.
Huh.
Is that the way the whole thing looked? I wasn't
Yeah.
watching,
Yeah, it looked like that.
didn't see me at all then.
No,
Way to go, John.
you can't see me either.
You guys.
It's zoomed in.
Throw me under the bus.
Oh, here we go, maybe.
You can't hurt it, Michelle, just play with it. You can't hurt a thing, I promise.
Focus, autofocus. No?
There's zoom and also camera movement probably some point. Might just be zoom.
Yeah, it doesn't say, there's not a button that says zoom. There's the focus buttons,
Mm.
but maybe. Okay, let's try this.
Oh, there I am. So I can read these buttons. These are closer. I gotta turn around.
Not on pause. Says we're not on pause.
We're not paused?
Yes, it says recording paused.
Or recording, it's only the recording that's paused, not.
Oh, so the
Stream.
live is still streaming? That's interesting. So it is still live streaming, but the recording is paused. I don't know.
Okay.
Huh.
So he said the recording is paused, but the live stream is still streaming.
Yeah, it's. It must be on YouTube, it's still going. Why don't you just stop the meeting we started, just do a new one? Is it, making a difference, yeah.
Well, it looked like then it's a new meeting rather than
Yeah,
a
it'll look like it's a
continuation.
new meeting rather than a
See, and so she
continuation.
doesn't want that. She wants a continuation.
Because people will be watching
Yeah,
the-
they can see all this.
yeah,
there.
for like a half hour or so.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, Michelle, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. but-
No, you're right. We can't restart. We can't do a new meeting.
So we need,
So,
or perhaps just a temporary mute while we're, because the audio.
I mean, you could turn the microphones off over there if you wanted a temporary mute, but
Right,
they,
even if
Sorry. Published. Excuse me, we, the board may. We may ask John questions about your appeal. You'll have an opportunity to make brief concluding remarks if you want to, you don't have to. We, the board, will probably make a decision about your appeal while you're here.
Okay.
And you'll also be receiving the mail from the assessor's office in a couple of weeks or a month. Then a decision that restates what we've decided. So that's how it works. And your name is Mrs. Sanchez.
Yes.
Okay,
Here is a copy of your property record card as it currently stands.
and I've already given her my speech. Okay, yeah. Michelle, if you will tell me when we're on.
We are on.
Okay. So our next. Are you?
Need to stand up?
No, have a seat. This is fairly informal.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so Mrs. Sanchez has filed an appeal on her property at 4419 East County Road 210. The assessed value that she's appealing was $755,100. She contends, as stated on the appeal form, that she believes the total assessed value is better represented at $675,900.
No, that's not right.
Is that not, oh, so that's what she, I'm sorry, she contends it's better assessed at $530,700.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read over far enough on my notes. My apologies.
That's okay.
Okay. Mrs. Sanchez, if you would tell us why you filed the appeal, why you believe the assessed value is in error.
All right, so let's start with the first one. Well, thank you all for, looking onto this. I mean, this is my first time at all. Overall. My first appeal.
That's okay.
But anyways, so we, first of all, I wanted to, based on the square footage that you have 4868 on the property. I actually asked my husband twice to measure the house, and I'm assuming when you're counting the footage, the square footage is based on the living space, correct?
Yes.
All right, so total square footage on living space is 3570.
Okay.
So from 48 to 35 is
Did you give her a copy of the latest corrected card? I did make corrections.
That is the corrected card that I handed her. The square footage is on page 2 of that.
Yeah, we actually have it down to 4,064. Yeah, one of the things I changed two things basically. I lowered the grade factor, the quality of construction we had as a C+2. I lowered it about 10% down to a straight C average grade house. And then we had your garage area. You have actually two different garage areas that are kind of connected to each other.
well, we connected it.
Yeah,
So
because the one was an older garage before you
It was
built
a
the
barn.
house.
And that's exactly how we bought the property, but then we decided to make a garage because we said we're gonna use the barn as it is. Might as well, if we pay that much for the land, to keep it. So what we did is a little connection and we made our own garage, which,
Okay. And originally I had that garage that you added to the house, connecting them, listed as what we call an integral garage. And the way the system prices that, it considers it first as living area, and then it makes a deduction because it's not finished as a garage. And we do that, we call it integral when there's living area above. And that gets kind of complicated. I decided to go ahead and just price it as a attached garage and take the integral part out of it. So that actually, instead of trying to price it as living area and then making a deduction, now we're only pricing the living area that we have based on the exterior measurements. And the garage, then it's priced directly as a garage. And I still have, I checked the exterior measurements when I was there. You can look at your sketch, the configuration.
Yeah, I'm looking, and the other thing is we have stairs, two sets of stairs, and we also have on that, under the, how you walk in, we have our furnace room and maintenance room, and also above the furnace room and the maintenance room, we have another furnace room and maintenance room on the second floor. So
Okay.
I know you do not go inside the house and like that, but when it comes up to so much tax, you would want to get, you know, a fair deal. That's what I'm,
We have the garage that's connecting to the pre-existing garage as being 36 foot wide. Does that sound right?
yes,
Okay, so 22 deep, 36 wide.
yes, that's
And-
about,
And we have living area above all of that. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay. And then behind that, we have a section which is 2 stories. It's about 38 by 35 with a little cutout in the corner. That's 1,250 square foot. And that would be on both floors. And then the back, the lakeside, there is a section that sticks out that's 23 by 32, 736 square feet.
correct.
Basically, that's how we come up with our square footages. Now, your square footages could be lower if you're using interior measurements to calculate.
My husband is a
room-
builder, so
room.
he kind of knows to add the extra here. But anyways,
Yeah,
coming from 48 to around 4,000, it's still, you know, a significant amount of, you know, square.
yeah, well, I checked the exterior measurements, so I don't know how that could be off unless, is there like a high ceiling area in that middle section where you don't, the full story is not above the whole thing?
Well, in the front,
Like a cathedral, like
in the
a,
front, we actually have only halfway through so the first floor has only, first floor is full, all to how we have it on the lake. But on the second floor, we do not have a living area, so half of the living area from the point, it's actually a deck. And then it goes towards the,
do we have a photo on this? I don't know if we have a backside photo. On the sketch, if you look at the sketch, that very back portion is called BRP. Now, that's just a brick patio. That's not living area, so just can't count that.
okay,
Is this the back section?
no, that's
That's-
the front of
that's the
the,
front.
towards the lake,
Okay.
exactly, so that's the area I was talking, so we have the front, and then we have only halfway from the front, we have the bedrooms and like that.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we're looking from the lake side, just, we're seeing that 23 by 32 section. It's just 1 story, and then behind it's the 2-story section. And that is a full 2-story section, right? There's no cathedral ceiling. Okay.
Just,
So,
so that
Mhm.
is 35 by 30, and I did it twice, because it goes top and bottom, so I have about 21 square foot in there.
or, yeah, 2,500, the 2 stories. Because it says 1,250 for those dimensions. So, yeah, your dimensions are, so you have 2,500 square foot in that 2-story section. You have 736 on the back part, and then there's 792, and actually a little bit more because there's an overhang. A little over 800, about 828 on above the garage. So if we add those together, 2,500 plus 736 plus 828, that's how we get to our 4,064. I don't know how you get a smaller measurement than that, but
Well, I have a 35 by 30 times 2, and then I went ahead and deduct the stairs, because the stairs is not a living space, is it?
well, we don't deduct stairways in 2 stories houses unless it opens up to a very big foyer, and then we might
Alright.
take,
And then, like I said, in the back where you have the 8 feet and 10 feet, right? When it attaches to the garage, that's where I have my mechanical room.
okay.
And like I said, that's on the first floor, then you go upstairs to the second floor, and then I have another mechanical room, which is, containing the.
okay, so yeah, you're saying,
Well, listen,
the
I'm not,
mechanical room is in that 8 by 25 section of the 2-story?
correct,
Okay, I see. And that's like a utility room, it's an
Yes.
unfinished room.
yes, it's all the mechanical room there, yes, how you kind of get in. And it goes all the way from the entrance to the extent of the house, to the end of the house.
Yeah, now that's on times 2 stories, that's a way to deduct 400 square foot, if we call that unfinished area.
Then we're quite there then.
Yeah,
The other thing is, I wanna bring it to your attention, I actually asked the insurance company to insure me for about 700,000. They came and they gave me 474,000. I have my insurance policy here with me.
okay,
I wanted it to get a little bit more, just in case, something happens, especially, we're not here all the time and like that. So I kinda, this brought me again, I was like, okay. Pay 700,000, dollars on property tax, but yet you are insured 474.
well, with the corrections that I made, which doesn't include this stuff we're talking about today. We have the house down to 457,600, which is a little less than that. I don't know if the board,
According to this, it was 474.9, which is a little bit higher than.
well, that,
That's
actually,
without the,
yeah,
it-
garage, it's actually, yeah, 474.9 if you include the pre-existing garage it's connected. But
Yeah.
again, that's still under what, 476 you were saying? I think?
she said 474, so, and we've got it assessed at 474.9.
Okay. Now, I don't have a problem deducting unfinished interior for this 8 by 25 section, which would take off 200 square feet on both floors, but I don't know if the board wishes me to verify that in the field or if they want to just go ahead and make the change.
Well, you could come, I'm actually here, and 10 minutes we're down the road.
It's up to the board. And
I have,
that's really,
that's fine. You wanna verify? You wanna verify, this is mechanical, okay,
Thank you. I think we should verify and then take a picture, so we can go ahead and change it.
okay,
so we're making a motion that you do a field inspection to verify the 8 by 25 mechanical room,
okay.
okay?
And while we're here, I did do a comparable sales analysis, which I don't believe I've shown you. I'll give you a copy. Yeah, our job is to make sure the values are reflect the market, and we do that by comparing your property to other properties. In your neighborhood, on water, Bass Lake, there are 5 sales that are multi-story sales. And in the notes, I explained how I filtered them down. They have to be a single family home on Bass Lake, Lakefront, Lakeview. They have to have at least two full stories in height. The effective year must be 1970 or newer. The grade factor of the home must be lower than 1.20. Yours is a 1.00. So I'm not comparing you to nicer, very fancier houses that are much better, elaborate than better built than yours. And the lot must have less than 100 foot of lake or lake view frontage. So I don't want to compare you to parcels that have a lot of frontage because you only have 50 foot. So when I filtered the sales, I come up with these 5 sales. And we look at the sale price divided by the gross living area. And you can see in the final column, you get the price per square foot, 339,072 on the first, and it goes down. The average of these 5 sales is $276.05 per square foot. Now, if we look at your value, and then this is based on the corrections I made before we make any further. We had your value down to 675,900. And then this is divided by, again, the living area that we have as of right now. 4,064 gives you a cost per square foot of, or, current assessed value per square foot of 166,031. That's quite a bit lower than the 276. And we would expect since you're fairly comparable, if you look at the yellow
There.
Shaded lines, and these are actually the comparables are slightly better grade than yours. Otherwise, they're pretty similar. So they might be selling for a little more than yours since they're slightly better grade, but yours is well below that. It's at 166 per square foot.
This is the water side.
Now, we'll have to rerun this when we do corrections, but I think it's gonna be pretty similar. Your value will be lowered and your gross living area will be lowered. You're still probably gonna be around the $170 dollar per square foot range, which puts you well below the sales. So I don't think you're overassessed at all. We'll attempt to deal with this square footage issue, and I'll try to set up a time with you to come. We're busy today with the other meetings, but
Can I take some pictures and send it to you? Is that gonna be easier?
yeah,
I don't have a problem with that if you guys
Okay.
don't, that's up to
yeah,
you.
that's fine.
Yeah, it's,
Are you okay? Okay,
good. Yeah. Okay, so is that all? Okay?
Yeah, so I just wanted to point out the sales. I don't think there's any issue with their value generally. If there's a specific issue with square footage, then we can deal with that.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we with the square footage at this point?
Right now, it's what you see on the property record card. I guess the board is fine with you sending in photos
Okay.
to support your claim that there's unfinished area in this 8x25 section that connects to the garage. Right,
So like I explained, there is the first part of the house where you walk in. It's between the garage, my actual garage and the house, and I have a mechanical room. I also have a mechanical room on the top, also. Yes,
Yeah.
and then if you're talking about the space in between the actual house and the garage that was previous, is that also an area that you wanna take pictures of? That's definitely not finished at all. I mean, we just made like a passage in there.
yeah. Now you have living area above the newer garage and then of course the
Yes.
2-story section on the other side. Are you saying the 2-story mechanical room is kind of in between those?
Yes, the mechanical room is in between the garage and the house. It's the way you walk in. So I have the mechanical room. I have all the
She talking about this?
pipes and
He's
everything.
talking about the 8x25
Right.
right here,
From the
because
cutout.
that's the
Yep.
garage.
Yes.
That.
Yes,
Yeah, that's what.
Also the stairs are there, just like I
Yeah.
explained. So you walk
Now-
in, the stairs is up, here's the.
Can you get to the entire 2nd-story area on both ends? Walking like through the mechanical room, or they're not like 2 separate 2-story areas?
But actually, we made a hallway and we closed yeah, you could pass by.
Yeah, okay, so the mechanical room is just kind of in the middle
Yeah.
as you pass through.
Yeah. Not like we could have done so big of a deal. I mean, the land is allowing you so much and then you have to stay from from each neighbor.
Yeah,
Initially, we thought different, but in the end, when we came and we put together all the things, it's so much you could.
and another issue, I don't want to complicate things, but in houses, we normally, most houses will have like a utility room that's either semi-finished or unfinished, and we do not deduct finish simply for that, but it's generally, a smaller area like 8 by 12 or something, not very big. Here we're talking about a more significant area, so.
However, if it's used for that, I mean, I guess. How do you change the rule because it's bigger than what we generally do? So that's why I said, whether you do a site visit or she sends pictures, and like, I think it needs to be seen. So we understand.
Okay.
Nice mechanical room, it's not just that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and basically my thing is just the verification, because it is a little different of a situation, like what he's talking about. But at the same time, if that's how we normally do it, we can't say, well, you're not getting it because it's a little bigger than what we generally do.
Right.
So once you see it, you will understand more what she's trying to describe. And I think it makes the
So
assessment
do
much
you
fair.
guys want to revisit this at the October
Yes,
meeting?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Okay.
yes. Well, so I'll make a motion that we table this until, the decision of this until after John has had an opportunity to review the pictures, so if you can get those to him within the next couple of weeks, that would be good.
In the next couple of hours, because I'm going there.
Okay,
And
So
then
that's
we'll,
not-
then we'll review it at our next meeting.
yes, and you don't need to be here for that.
Okay.
But
You're more than welcome to come if you want. You still send
It
her.
is, the next hearing is October 23rd in the morning. We have hearings from 9 AM till about 10 AM. So if you wanted to be here when we hear it, I would think, 9:45 or 10 AM.
Is there any way that maybe you could call her when you have the time so she has a full chance? to
Yes,
hear
I can,
it?
I can send another notice of hearing for you. But you don't have to attend. I'll get that in the mail tomorrow, showing the new, if you had,
This
did
way you
you
have
have
that,
an
and-
email? Cause I can email it to you.
Yeah. Well,
If
I
you
can
have- Let me see. I have,
jrhanches@yahoo.com.
yep,
That's it. Another thing is, we have this house as a recreation. We
Mhm.
come here sometimes 5 to 7 times, 10 times a year. If the taxes are literally $10,000, I want you to tell me how much it costs me every time I come here. Yes, it's kind of unfortunate that I have to say this. And another thing is, I have a house in Illinois and I'm paying literally taxes. You know how we are taxed in Illinois. If you think that this is an easy burden, it's not. We came in the middle of literally here is nowhere. I actually crossed a couple of cornfields until I come here. And I really thought that the taxes are gonna be reasonable.
Well, yeah.
And listen, we're slapped with this kind of taxes.
Probably the main reason your taxes are so high is because you're not getting a homestead exemption. When you have a homestead exemption, it's a large exemption for the house that you live in. And you're probably getting that on your Illinois house, and you're not getting it here. So if you were to say move here exclusively and get that exemption, your taxes will go down more than 50%, probably 60, 70%.
If I tell you, you are a Republican state. We are living in a Democrat state. I do not get a home exemption.
You don't get a homestead in
No.
Illinois?
No.
Are you getting home?
My taxes are more than 10,000. So if you have your taxes, please read. We don't get a home exemption. Do you believe that?
I think you should get a homestead somewhere.
I don't get it.
You just need to apply for,
Well, she's gonna have to talk to the auditor's office on
Yeah.
that. So actually, when you leave here, when you go upstairs to the right into the auditor's office and
Her-
they'll.
her mailing address is Chicago, Illinois, though.
Correct.
But
So-
the assessor's office doesn't deal with the exemptions, so she needs to go upstairs and you can
Discuss with them.
discuss the exemptions and they can tell you what's allowed, what's not allowed. But that,
for the property here.
yes, for the property here, but that's an auditor issue.
Okay. And with no doubt, paying this taxes 10 years would buy any other house here in this area. So do you think that's fair?
I think the valuation of your property is fair, and that's our job. And I think the sales comparison shows that cost per square foot compared to other sales is,
It's because everybody problems up the numbers, not because that's how it should be.
well,
I wanna take any other house around here and put it at 3,500 square feet and tell me that that's exactly what they charge, their charge. Just because we have the Lakeview, let me tell you, I already paid the price for the Lakeview. I already
Yeah.
paid the land.
yeah, well, that goes into the valuation of your property. A lakefront property has higher value, and the tax rates are the rates they are. They don't change except for in certain districts. But the main thing that's driving your taxes is the valuation being a lakefront property. And I think if you compared your taxes to other people's taxes who are on the lake but do not have a homestead, you'll find that you're not being unfairly treated.
Well, tell me, what do I get for this taxes?
I'm not an expert on that. Maybe you guys could speak to that.
Well, and this is beyond the scope of this body. The only thing, we want you to have a fair and equitable assessment, which is what you want. So we don't have anything to do with the taxes.
I know, but you know, I'm here to let you know that I'm getting literally strangled by another $10,000 after the fact that I paid for the land already. I built a house. I had to dig a hole to get the water.
Mhm,
We're paying our sewer.
mhm.
We don't have anything included on the taxes. So why do we pay $10,000 for? What do we get for the $10,000 that we're paying?
I can't speak to that, but we're trying to help you reach
Well,
a reasonable
Because
assessment.
literally, I'm in the.
And that's why this lady suggested you go upstairs and speak to the auditor. And maybe there are more deductions available to you that you and we aren't aware of. And that would help your taxes.
And they can give you tax rate breakdowns to tell you what specifically percentage of
taxes
the
are
taxes are
going
going to what
towards.
services. There's a whole table for that. And it varies by taxing district.
Okay? Are we done? So we're going to table this and John will make a recommendation regarding the mechanical room at our next hearing in October.
And I will send you another 114. I'll email it. If we get out of here in time, I'll email it to you today. If not, I'll email it to you tomorrow. The 114 that shows the October 23rd hearing time for you.
Now, my previous assessment was on 4,800 square feet, correct?
Yeah, I believe, I don't even have that, but that's before I made the corrections that have been made so far, yeah. Yeah. Like my latest card has 4,064 square feet.
So you've already reduced the total square footage.
Yeah, and it was more of, it didn't usually affect the value because it's the way I priced the garage.
Right.
Instead of, I called it integral and deducted. The main thing that lowered the value so
I
far
know.
was I lowered the grade factor. I felt that
Right,
the quality and construction of the house, from what I could see on the outside, was not that exemplary or above average.
understood. Okay, if there's nothing else, these proceedings are concluded. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ladies.
Mhm.
All right, I hope you don't take it in any wrong way. It's just that
We understand. So please, if you have time, go upstairs to the auditor's office before
I will.
you leave.
All right.
Thank you.
They need to do that over in Illinois too, if you're not
Yes,
getting a
in
homestead.
Illinois. Yeah,
Well,
'cause
listen,
I'm pretty
if
sure
they
Illinois
say-
has a homestead deduction.
Yes, but if we go over $10,000, they don't allow us. Now, they said that if we make more than 75,000, we're not allowed to apply for home exemption. Is that fair?
Well, it's because of how they do their taxes over there. They're not a market value. Remember, everything is split three
Yeah, I
different
don't
ways.
know.
That's where they get that.
And then the schools in the area are so terrible that you're afraid to send your kids to. So I had to put the kids in private school after paying $18,000 in taxes. That's where we stand.
Well,
And the governor is not happy. He wants another $60 million so he could hand it to immigrants. I had to stay online for my visa, and I consider I'm an immigrant, and I'm assuming all of you are immigrants. It's just that probably all of you came a little before me.
Mhm.
But I had to stay online for my visa. I waited 5 years and my brother died in the meanwhile. He wanted to cross the border and he died. Yet we have free immigration, illegal immigration. And our taxes go there. We're like fools.
well,
I feel like I'm a fool. Do you know I actually come from a communist country? Do you know I actually had to present a card when I went and got my food? That's how it was. And sometimes we will wake up at 4 and 3 in the morning, go and sit on the line, and you get nothing. And if you guys think it's easy, it's not easy. You come here literally with a bag on an airplane and try to make it. No English. My first lady that I went with my check, I finally got a check. She says, give me an ID. And we were taught identity card. When she said ID, I did, what did she want? My little English did not take me that far. So I kept on looking at her, make sure I see what she says again. And she says, are you gonna give me an ID? And I says, give me my check back because I couldn't understand what she said. That's how bad it is. So, yeah, I feel like I'm sometimes literally hurt to see that, we're trying to make it happen for all of us. And I'm sure all of you do. And every time you try to do it, somebody presses you down. And it's bad.
I'm sorry. I wish you the best.
Well, it's good enough. I can complain. I have a house in Indiana now.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Second floor to the,
yep, go up the stairs and then go to the right and then walk right into that office.
all right, I'll go right there.
The forest hearing was supposed to start at 2:30 and it's now 2:37.
Okay,
I
So-
don't see anyone waiting.
okay, let's do this then. We'll
Yeah,
do
I
this.
spoke to the wife in the field and
Are you talking about the forest appeal?
forest field, yeah, I believe I actually gave her a copy of the comparable sales analysis. And explained that I didn't think there was any way we could make a change. She was gonna give it to her husband. I haven't heard back. So I don't know. Maybe they not so interested in pursuing anymore. I don't know.
Okay, so we'll do this as a no-show. So we're gonna do this the way we should. So, the next appeal was scheduled at 2:30 for Daniel and Irene Forrest for the property located at 9660 East, 700 South in Monterey. The assessment year under appeal was 2025. The total assessed value that they appealed is $252,100. I think they indicated, at least according to John, they believe the assessed value is better represented at $205,300. I don't think they submitted any evidence to prove their contentions. John, do you have any brief testimony you would like to give the board regarding the appeal filed by the force?
I performed a comparable sales analysis and found 10 sales that are really quite comparable if you compare the two yellow rows on the worksheet. And the sales indicate $165.21 per square foot. These are all ranch homes. And the subject parcel current assessed value works out to $140.06. So that's well over 10% below that. And a linear regression model gives us a predicted sale price of $279,100. So the current value of $252,100 appears to be fair, so I suggest no change.
Thank you. Tori, any questions for John? Okay, so I don't either, so I will make a motion. There is no change in the assessed value for 2025 for the forest appeal. And the assessed value remain at 252,100. Do I have a second? Motion carries.
Bill, you did not ask me if I sent the 114, which I did. And it was sent timely, it was not returned, and I haven't received a phone call or anything.
No, I did not, and I usually do.
You usually do, so I just wanted it on the record.
Thank
that
you.
they did. The Form 114 was sent in a timely fashion,
And
it was not returned.
It was undeliverable.
Correct.
Thank you. Shame on me.
This one. Two.
And the next one involves solar farm.
Yeah, we actually have 3 more left, Lori.
I was counting. I was like, one, what, two, one, three, three.
One more minute. Where do you want me to send you the pictures?
Oh,
Email.
That would be
Yeah,
helpful.
give it an email.
There's nothing. Of course.
So it probably, because your main home is in Illinois versus supposed to be main.
there's a long email. That is the assessor email.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I sent it to the assessor 75 email. I don't know if you get those, but I'll forward it to you
Yeah.
if you don't. That's the one I like to give people because then more than one person can put eyes on it and make sure it gets to the right place.
No. Becky use it, so I don't. Words to me, I'll drive right on to that, the assessor has a burden of proof.
I saw that.
Commissioner has the burden in all 3 October appeals too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Well, now we're gonna have a 4th one in October, because we're gonna finish off the Hunches. Hello. It's your turn. Here, no, you're fine.
Are you
Here
the-
is a copy of your property record card so that you can see what we're talking about when we talk.
Are you the Albrights?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well,
Thank you.
If you want to have a seat. So have you ever been in an appeal hearing before?
No.
Okay, so briefly, the procedure, this hearing, for lack of terms, is tape recorded. This lady and myself, we are the board, we'll make the decision about the appeal you filed on your property. Michelle, the assessor, is not a voting board member. Don, the gentleman at the end, will defend the assessment. We have copies of the information that you filed regarding your appeal. You can speak first, tell us why you filed the appeal, why you believe the assessed value to be in error. We may ask you questions about your appeal. Then John will testify and tell us how the assessment was established. We may ask him questions about the appeal. You will have an opportunity to make brief concluding remarks about your appeal. If you want to, you don't have to. Then the hearing is closed. We will probably make a decision while you're here about your appeal. But you will also receive notice in the mail from the assessor's office stating, reiterating our decision in 2 to 4 weeks. So that's kind of how it works.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, easy peasy. All right, so you guys filed an appeal at your parcel on the property located at 7530 South 600 East Monterey. And the total assessed value is, that you appealed, is $301,800, and that's for 2025. If you would tell us why you filed the appeal and why you believe the assessed value is in error.
Want to go first?
And he's throwing you to the wolves.
We were right across the street from the solar farm,
Okay,
and it's a mess.
okay,
The entrance, that road is 1.5 miles long from intersection to intersection. And some brain surgeon decided to put the entrance right in front of our house. In 1.5 miles of that road. So we've been dealing with that since, I don't even know when the construction started. I believe it was 2021. And been dealing with that, late night, people turning around, shining headlights into my front room. Which we never had before because it was all corn and beans.
okay,
And I feel, or Gina and I feel that they've lowered our property value because of this. I mean, nobody wants, all my customers, I work on boats for a living there. And all my customers come in and just shake their head and says, man, how do you deal with this? I said, that best I can, but it's aggravating to look at. And then we get this. Nobody wants to buy my property. Not for this.
do you have your property for sale?
No, but if I did, nobody would want to buy it.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
They lowered our property
Okay.
value, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay, okay, I misunderstood. Okay,
Mhm.
okay,
The aerial would be good to look at.
Yeah, I like to see both.
Okay.
okay,
Are you done talking?
Yeah, I didn't hear what he said. and
Oh.
Didn't realize.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the area.
Okay, yeah,
Give them an idea of,
sure.
This way we know what we're talking.
I've been
I
there.
didn't hear, I'm hard of hearing and I didn't hear what he said and then.
Unfortunately, the aerials are from before the
Oh, yeah, you
Oh,
don't have it updated with this, so.
new photography is being taken, I think,
Is,
the beginning of next year for the area.
I can show you pretty much what I'm talking about here if you wanna.
Yeah, walk us through it, so we.
If you see,
sir, would that be
Yes, sir.
easier, back there, would that be easier for you to point stuff?
yeah.
Okay, Not that I don't want you to stand here by me, but. Okay, that's your property.
Yep. Now, like I said, here's the solar field, actually, it starts about here. It
Okay,
goes all the way to the next road,
okay,
which is a mile from our property. And here's the entrance into our driveway to come to the house and to my shop.
okay.
And they decided to put the entrance right here. Right in front of me.
The entrance to the solar farm,
Yeah, there's only one way in that whole complex.
and it's direct,
And that's right in front of my house.
and it's directly across from your,
Directly across from my driveway. Not from my driveway, from my house.
Right.
House.
well, that's
In other words,
convenient.
Which
No.
all I had to do was move it down to the south a little bit. Where the tree line is that separates it from the field.
I've had them,
On the south side of that tree line. And it was mentioned at one time that they were gonna do that. But irregardless, the solar panels are to the south, to the east, to the west and north of us, all around us. My sister's place is right next to us. We're the only two houses on that country.
well,
road there.
there's a third one, it's farmhouse, but, Kip and Steve Thompson on that, it was Don Thompson's place.
But anyhow, we're a mile and a half approximately from the Bass Lake Beach. And there's 600 east goes all the way to the beach by that little restaurant called Scoops and Sunettes. It's easy access to the lake. If anybody wanted to buy our property, there's a access that's public. What do you call that?
Oh, to the lake.
Yeah,
Oh, an easement.
an easement. So,
We don't have an easement to the lake, but
no, what I'm saying is that I said public. Anyhow. So if somebody wanted to be away from the hustle bustle of the lake, there's short enough distance where they could, take their golf cart or whatever. It's just a good location for that. That's why we bought that property, because it was close.
yeah,
And for you to put the boats in at the access, to test your boats or the customer's boats. Now the situation is. We don't know we're older now. We've been in our place for it'll be almost 26 years when we built. We had to clear the woods and build a home. We're thinking that it wouldn't be a hard place to sell if it got to be too much, because it's a lot of work involved with the yard. We're on 3 acres.
3 acres of woods sounded good 30 years ago.
But anyhow.
Not now.
We don't know.
But it's not for sale. We
Right,
don't wanna
right.
sell. It's just the idea that
If we did.
I think that it's, with the and I know everything goes up, and it happens in my business too. Stuff you can't control, but I feel that my property is degraded because of all this. That's my biggest. gripe.
Okay,
Well, and then it was mentioned somewhere down the line, I don't know who mentioned it, but they thought that maybe our taxes would go down because of the solar panels. I mean, it's not. So anyway, our main. I don't wanna say gripe, but our taxes have gone up. Let's see. Since 2021, I feel significantly. I don't know, I did my little homework thing. I don't know if you wanna look at it.
Is that-
More than welcome.
Tax bill wise or assessment wise?
Tax.
Okay.
tax bill. Now, we have no control over the taxes, the tax bill and taxes. We're only here we want you to have a fair and equitable assessment. That's the purpose of this body.
Mhm.
John, do you have any testimony or evidence you'd like to give us regarding this appeal?
Ever since the solar farms have gone in, I have been very concerned about whether or not they're going to affect values And I've been trying to monitor that through sales activity. And I gave you a copy of, I was thinking you did. I'll give it to you now.
Don't recall if you
When
did.
you stopped by, I was in the shower.
Yeah,
By the time I got out.
I thought I gave her a copy of this,
I don't,
but I'll walk you through this real quick.
I don't
Now, this-
recall seeing this.
In order to reduce, I need to quantify what sort of negative effect this is gonna be. I can't just arbitrarily, but now the board has the opportunity to make a decision, whatever they wanna do. But as an assessor, I try to be more technical and stick to something that I can prove. And I wanna, if there's a negative effect on value, I'd like to see that through sales. And what I've done here is I've already classified I've already looked at the solar areas and identified the houses that are potentially impacted. That is, they're within a half a mile of a solar farm. And among those houses, I look for sales. And between 1/1/24 and a couple months ago, you can see on this list, the top part of this list is the dwelling improved residential sales that are near solar installations. So these are 8 houses that are within half a mile of solar panels. And I have a scoring system from 1 to 4 based on how close and how surrounded they are by solar panels. And these only score 1 or 2. Your house, I should have looked it up, but your house probably would score maybe even a little higher than this for having it right across the street like that. But these are the sales I have, the best I can do. And so the most direct way to compare your property to other properties that aren't affected by solar is to look at what we call a sale ratio. That's how we do our trending and adjustments. So we compare the sale price of stuff that is sold to the assessment and find out, are we too high or too low for that given year. And I do that for the solar properties. And then I did that for, of course, there's a lot more that are in those same neighborhoods that are not near solar. So that's the rest of this list, which I think adds up to, looks like 76 different sales. So if we compare the median sale ratio, on the ones that are near solar, the ratio is 93.8%. On the ones that are not near solar, the ratio is 94.8%. So we're actually a little bit higher compared to the sale price on the ones that are not near solar. Now, if there was a negative effect for being near solar, these sale ratios on these first 8 sales should be higher than that. They might even go over 100% because our values would be higher than what they're selling for. The ratio would be over 1, but they're actually down close to the non-solar properties and even a little bit lower. So this provides me really no evidence to prove that the solar is having any effect. Now, again, this is only 8 sales.
Right.
And it's not your
I don't
property,
know.
but this is what I tried to do to try to see if there's any impact, and I couldn't find any, so.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody around it sold their place, because there's not very many, there's only 3 houses on our whole road.
Yeah,
A mile and a half. And they're not for sale. And I don't know if anybody else sold their property, but all I do know is all the people I talked to said, that looks like you know what out there. I said, yeah, it does.
now,
I wouldn't want to live by it.
the other thing I did to try to see if your value is too high or not is I did a comparable sales analysis, and I'll give you a copy of this. And this is really not related to solar or anything. This is just taking a look at your house, comparing it to similar houses that have sold in the last, it's like in the last year, going back to the beginning of 2024. So see, I didn't count them up here. Looks like there's about maybe 14 sales or so. Yeah, 14 comparable sales are documented with the key characteristics most affecting value in the blue shaded columns. And the average, you can see the average, like the average age of these homes, effective year is 1997 and yours is 1999. The grade factor, theirs is a little bit lower than yours, but it's not too far. They're a little bit lower. They don't have as much outbuilding value because you got the pole barn, but otherwise. These sales are relatively representative and similar to your property. And if we look at the sale price per square foot, divide the sale price by the gross living area on each one of these, and I have that figure in the final column there. The average for these 14 sales is $162.49 a square foot.
You seen a picture of the house?
Your assessment, 301,800 divided by your living area, works out to $148.23 a square foot, which is lower than that. So
See a picture.
the sales are higher than your house per square foot. So this suggests you're not over assessed. Now, I did highlight your property, of course, is the subject down below. And if you look at the green shaded one above,
Okay.
that is actually a parcel that it's on the list as one of the near solar properties. So this is one of them that sold. Not only did it sell as a near solar property, it sold and it's on your list as being comparable to your house. And it's a ranch, 1,152 square feet that sold for $236,000. Works out to $204.86 a square foot, which is well more than yours. It's a house that, your house is almost twice that size and you're only assessed for about 70,000 more. So this sales analysis is another piece of market-based evidence that indicates to me that you're not being overassessed. Now, I can't say that whether or not your property values reduced from where it might otherwise be without the solar panel per se, but I can't find any evidence to quantify any reduction. So I don't have a recommendation to basically make any change. I think it should probably be the same. I don't have any evidence, I should say.
So I thought, Mr. and Mrs. Albright, I understand your position. Unfortunately, we as a board have to have a way to measure the negative impact it has on the value of your property. Because how do we know,
And we
How do we
don't
know?
know because it's not for sale.
Right, so I have a suggestion, and so you can do with this as whatever you wanna do. How about? We, the board, will offer you the opportunity to go to a realtor to get a market analysis. I'm not talking about a full-blown appraisal. I'm not talking about that. But maybe a one-page letter market analysis. And they can then come to your property and see the solar, and maybe they can give an indication of the negative, if there is any, impact that has on your property and the value of your property.
That would give us some ground.
Is then we'll have some way to measure, and you will too, because maybe a realtor would say, oh, you're full of prunes. I could sell that for $375,000 today, So. If you want to do that. How about this? I'll make a motion that we table this appeal until our next hearing, which is in October 23rd. And if you want to talk to a realtor about a market analysis and then have them type up something or whatever and send it to Michelle, you don't have to come back, but then we have something to review. And if you don't want to do that, we'll make a decision on the information we've got in front of us. So it's entirely up to you. Fair enough?
We'll do that.
It-
I think we should.
It's called a market analysis. And any realtor will know what you're talking about. Don't let them talk you into a full-blown appraisal. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars
No,
for
I
this.
know.
No,
Okay.
just explain to them that you
So
had
it,
an appeal with PTABOA.
Right,
and they
right,
requested a
explain to
short-
them why you
short
want this,
document.
okay? Is that all right?
yes,
Our
Okay.
house has a full basement. You know, it's a full basement.
Yes, we know that.
Oh, you knew that. okay.
Yeah, we've got
You
it.
look at it and think, oh, it's just a
Nope, we know that.
house built there without.
Gina,
Yeah.
another thought, because your main complaint was with the taxes. It used to be, and I don't know how old you guys are, so I'm not trying to say that you're old. But it used to be that your assessment, if your assessment was too high, it negated your ability to apply for an age deduction. And that is no longer the case. So you might stop by the auditor's office and see if you would qualify for the age deduction. There used to be, your assessment had to be under a certain amount, your income had to be under a certain amount. And I know the assessment restriction was lifted starting this year. So you might be able to get some sort of age deduction that would help with taxes. So it's something to look at.
So when you leave here, go upstairs to the right and go talk to them and they'll help you.
We'll go on, Becky.
No, no.
No,
No.
it'd be Michaeline is up there.
Oh.
Well, I mean, if
auditor's
she's-
office.
Yes, the
Oh,
auditor's
no,
office.
I-
Yep.
I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll just go upstairs to the right.
Mom,
Are we good?
I'm good with that.
Okay. Okay,
Unfair.
okay, so if there's nothing further,
I'll second your motion.
okay, so you're second my motion for the market analysis. If they so choose.
Mhm.
If there's nothing further, these
So,
proceedings
you guys-
are concluded.
Make a decision if you're gonna move forward with that, just let Michelle know, cause then she can get you on
I-
next.
The email is, if you want to email, or you can call, or you can stop by. And I will, if you decide to do that, I will let you know what time at the October hearing that it'll be heard, in case you want to be here. If you don't have to be, like they said, they'll just review the additional evidence and add it in and make a decision. So, yeah, just let me know if you're wanting to be added to that October schedule. All right.
Well, thank you. You
Thank you.
guys have a good.
Thank you,
day.
folks.
thank you.
Thank you much.
We'll get out of your hand. You come, change my clothes, go to my great niece's volleyball game.
And I'm assuming you are Richard Anderson?
yeah.
I have your property record card here, if you want to grab that before you sit
Thank
down.
Have a good day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stepped on my.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank
How was
you.
your year?
He was here last year.
He was? Oh, so, okay, so you know the procedure and I don't have to give you my speech again, because you remember and you remember and you
Yeah.
remember. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, come on.
Whatever, move this along. So you filed an appeal because you're so happy with the assessment. Oh, maybe I made that up. So the assessment that you're appealing for 2025 is 566,300, and you contend that the assessed value is better represented at 545,500.
No,
That's what you said on the appeal form.
the assessed value, it was 580 something, wasn't it? The new assessed.
Did I?
There has been, I made an adjustment after that, but I understand you're not happy with it.
Oh, originally it was 580, I'm sorry, I misspoke, 582,000. And John offered you, or apparently you had an informal,
Mhm.
and you're not, okay,
Well, let's back up and get a whole scope of, so last year I told you I was gonna pull a billing from it this year, which I did.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm in the process of doing that. The house is not livable right now, it hasn't been since March. Okay,
I'm
Mhm.
trying to work on it, but the day before the roof was gonna go on, the tarp blew off and I lost everything. Drywall, ceilings. So found mold in the basement. Base floors tore up for access. It's complete. I got pictures if you wanna see them. Beyond that, the house is going from a 4-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. The upstairs bathroom is adding a shower, getting a little bit bigger, but the rooms up there were not. I bought the place. I told you guys last year I overpaid for it. I get it. I gotta put a lot more money in it than I thought. The ceiling fan used to hit me square in the forehead. That's why we were raising the roof and I pulled the building permit to try to make it more livable. When we lost everything, we found a whole bunch of problems. House is 100 years old. I can imagine what you uncovered. So from what I see from the taxes, the only reason I'm upset, it's, I know the market value around the lake, whatever. It's going up double digits or more every year. I can't sustain that. My daughter lives in this house. I don't live there. You know, we bought it. I got 3 other properties. We bought this for my daughter to start a family. She got a job here out of college at Knox at the dental clinic. And now she can't stay there. She's staying 4 houses down because I don't have the house done. So I'm just asking for a little patience as I get this redone where the taxes aren't, because you know, the last year I went right up to the sale price. You admitted, hey, let's lower it.
Mhm.
I admit it, I overpaid. Now I really over, you know, my fault. But, you know, the home values, I understand all that, but I just can't get the increase right now. I mean, I know once we get the building permit settled and we eventually want to plan to add on 2 more bedrooms over the slab common living area, which I told them. But that might be delayed another couple of years. So I kind of just want to kind of ease into this before I get hit. Because I know I'm going to get hit when I get it done, you know, too.
Mhm.
So trying to do as much as I can myself, and I work a full-time job in Illinois, so.
Okay, John,
Okay,
Testimony?
Start with. Man, I just don't want to get to you said that, the assessment date that's under appeal here is January 1st of 2025. Now, you're saying that more after that period of time, something happened, the tarp blew off and there's been damage to that house?
No, so we took the building permit, we took I could show you what we did. Like you can see it, we took the whole 2nd story down
Okay,
to raise the roof. Okay, had the electrician come raise the weatherhead.
so right now there's no 2nd story.
There is, we rebuilt it, they did the roof
Been
wrong.
rebuilt already?
Apparently looks something like that.
Okay,
They gotta redo the roof because they did it wrong.
and all that was done after the
But this
first,
will be the new layout of the upstairs, the 2 bedrooms and the bath with the shower.
okay,
This will come up the stairs and eventually have access. There's a header here to have an addition here with 2 more bedrooms. But that's 2 years down the road.
is the exterior dimensions the same size as before?
Yep.
You're just changing it around on the inside, okay. And,
But in the process, we got an inch of rain that Sunday. I can't remember the date. And we had 2 tarps covering, there was no sheeting on the roof. So we had 2 tarps, the one by the chimney blew up. And got an inch of rain in there in like 2 hours. So all the drywall in the living room, all the insulation,
okay,
so,
and this happened a couple months ago or weeks,
yeah,
okay.
2 or 3 months ago.
So- There's 2, we gotta focus on our time frame here too, because all of this happened after January 1st, 25. So what we're dealing with right here is the January 1st, 25 assessment. And if we have to deal with what was there and status at the time. So this is a problem that we're gonna have to deal with for the assessment moving forward in January 26. I probably have to put it, I think we already have a recheck note on here, probably to look at this, but I have to make sure there's a recheck where we look at this and determine the status as of the 1st of January 1st of 2026. So right now we need to focus on, as of January 1st, 25, it was the old 2-story was there before you started any work. So basically we were dealing with the same house we were or last year on your appeal. It's
Yeah,
just-
but, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If anything, with missing bedrooms and everything, it's not gonna be a 4-bedroom house. So if you get a home valuation or valuation, now it's gonna be a 2-bedroom. Right now, it's a no bedroom, so.
Right.
But even referring back to that, the big increase, I think it should at least stay the same until I get this done, you know?
Okay.
I mean, because it got worse, it didn't get better.
Yeah, and there is actually a Indiana code that deals with your situation. Whenever a taxpayer appeals a property and they prevail, there's a law that kicks in that says that the assessor is not allowed to make changes. I should read it from here. It's Indiana Code 6-1.1-13-13. The assessing official shall not increase the assessed value of the property until the first year of the next 4-year assessment cycle for any reason other than by application of the annual adjustment factor, which is the trending factor we use every year. And in fact, that's what happened. The only change that caused an increase to your property value this year from last year was a new trending factor. And actually that caused the original increase to go up to your $582,000. I looked at that on an informal basis before this hearing and decided that we were giving you extra obsolescence to bring your value down because it was pricing more than what you paid for it last year. That's the reason you prevailed last year. And I felt that even though the market's appreciating, I wanted to be conservative on your value because most of our sales ratios are lower than 100%. So I decided to increase your obsolescence from 10% to 15%, which lowered your value down back even further, or back lower than 582, back to 566,300. Now that's still more than last year, but it's less than a 5% increase, and it's the only other thing driving the increase is the trending factor, and we are by law allowed to do that. In fact, it really wouldn't be fair to freeze your value just because you prevailed on appeal when other people don't have their values frozen when the market's going up like it is now. So
Is it typical to trend in only 30% or 15%?
well,
a year? I mean, I just don't see the people that've been at the lake
the overall
for
average,
years, how that's sustainable.
I don't have the neighborhood thing. The overall average for the county this year was an 8.6% increase, but there were certain neighborhoods that did go up. I think the lake did go up over 10% on average, like maybe 12 or 13%.
I'm new to the
Yeah,
area. So
you're 582,000 compared to,
settling here, so.
I'll do the calculation on yours. Yours only went up 6.7%. That's before I made the change. So, yeah, and that's actually less than the average for the county as far as the market increase or trend.
There was a big jump from when Todd Morgan owned it, when I was here last year.
Well,
So,
yeah,
and it went up 507,000 or 500,700 to 583,700. We got it down last year to 545.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then now it went right back up to 582, and then you lowered it again, so. I guess we can come to terms on this year, like you said, it was prior to construction, but I think going in the next couple of years, we need to understand what I'm trying to do. And not have I don't wanna have to come to appeal every year.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put a recheck on it and we're gonna look at this carefully next year, because so you gotta basically, did you say you had to tear off the whole second story that you were?
Well, the
Or
plan
was it
was
the original
The
tear
plan
down?
was to just take the roof off and then add 2 feet, but when we exposed, it had paneling in there. Once we exposed the wall, and the old framing was just a mess.
Right now, you have the new second story on there framed up, right?
Yes,
Okay.
with no interior.
We admit that.
No,
And is the roof on it?
it's on it, but they gotta take it back off.
Okay, so there's still repairs to be done.
So the widows walk up there, the flat surface.
It's not just incomplete, there's repairs that have to be done to what already was started. Okay. I just want to understand that before I'll put that on the notes when I come out there. Because we have to make a judgment on the status of the property as of January 1st, 26. And we may not be out there within a week or two of that, but I want to try to be close to that.
Sure.
Are you normally at the property? Do you live there?
Not during the week. Nobody could live there right now. There's no heat, no
Okay.
air, no.
And do you
No, half the church be
anticipate
shut off.
by like December, do you anticipate being there at all? Or I suppose I should just get your phone number and contact you.
My daughter's trying to rent another house on the lake because they're seasonal people. So I'm hoping that works out. If not, I am always there on the weekends working.
Hmm.
And I could come out during the week if it was scheduled time,
Okay,
you know, I could try to.
we have your phone number on the appeal, so I could probably call you sometime in December.
But I would
Maybe-
say the new furnace and stuff, or the heat would be turned back on in a month,
Mhm.
you know, because I don't want everything freezing, so I get some kind of heat.
I like to be there as close as possible to the assessment date, so I can, because I have to make
Well,
a
just call me towards the end of the year.
Okay, yeah, I'll call you sometime, probably by mid-December at the latest. And
Okay.
we'll set up a time either in December or early January where I can take a look at it.
Right.
Is that all? John?
Yeah,
So basically, I'll make a motion.
I have recommendation for no further changes this year.
Right. So you did recommend to increase the obsolescence from 10 to 15%,
Right.
which lowers then the assessed value from whatever, 582 or something to 582 to 566,300.
Right.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion to take John's recommendation to take the assessment down to 566.3.
mhm.
The obsolescence increase 10 to 15, and he'll add the recheck, set up the appointment and check it again before January 1st.
And I will second that. Okay,
So that's the normal, you're saying that's the normal trend? Is what you lowered it to?
The normal trending, yeah, yours went up 6.7%, and the average for the county was actually 8.4%, I believe, the average increase for a house. So, yeah, that's what the sales are indicating, that we need to raise the values at that level. And the sales I've seen this year are not a whole lot different, maybe a little softer. It's probably gonna be at least a 5 or 6% increase again this year.
So
on
what
average.
sale are you guys going off of? Because when you sell a house, say you pay a realtor 6 or 7%, are you selling off the sale price, or are you going off of what?
It's the sale price that is what you paid for it that's on the sales disclosure form. That's what we're giving.
Yeah, we don't include any seller pay points, but.
Because you're not supposed to assess it to a sales price, that's what I'm getting at. Like Porter County does.
Well, that's not how the
My house
state,
in Porter County is probably worth 800,000, I don't pay near, they don't assess it for near 800,000, not even close.
We are supposed to be at or near market value between, we have 10% in
And
either
you tax
direction.
buildings that are on skids that aren't even permanently attached here, I don't understand like the difference between the counties, because.
Legally, you're
Porter
supposed
County-
to assess any structure and any man-made structure. We're supposed to
Yeah.
assess per code, and we're supposed to be within plus or minus 10% of market
I
value.
guess my other question is, I don't know if you guys have anything to do with this, but from what I understand, the lake property, I have the lake property and then I have another property. The lake property is under the ELPOA or something,
Mhm.
Bass Lake Property Owners Association, and my concern is, I've been there a couple years now. And there's all the taxes that people are paying, if it's 70% of your tax base, I don't know what the lake is. I'm just guessing, but it's a
Much
large
less than
portion.
that.
It's a large portion of your tax base. There's no improvements around that lake. When it rains, there's 3 inches of water in every street. My crawl space is full of water because there's nowhere for the water to go. Like, there's no sanitary drains. There's no sidewalks to walk on. There's no, I mean, where's, I know you said that I gotta get to congressman because you guys are only allocated so much money, but all that money is being paid at the lake, we need a little return in that, especially when the values are going up year over year. Because I might keep this for 2 more years and then the taxes, it ain't gonna be worth it.
Yeah, I think the entire township area is, not more than, well, there's 2 townships there, but.
place.
You're in the right place.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah, the tax base for the Bass Lake area can't be more than 25% of it for the entire county.
Well, the farms, I guess.
Oh, there's plenty, there's plenty of.
But there's not, I
nice
don't see a lot of
houses.
new subdivisions going in. They don't get-
Well, yeah, but there's plenty of nice houses that add up, I mean, when you get
Okay.
all around the county.
No, I get it. Okay, I guess we'll reassess for next year then, but.
Yeah, I'll hear.
If I don't agree with this, what's the next course of action for me? Just to assess another one, you know?
Yeah, if you don't agree with the 566,000 that we're settling on today, you can file an appeal to the state. Michelle can tell you about that.
I have left that comment.
This
And then
is,
I'll call you sometime in December.
this is the paperwork to appeal it to the state. It has to be filed within a certain number of days of when you get your 115 notice of the determination here. And, you have to file it with the state and with the county, both.
Good. So I gotta make a copy of this.
The
I gotta send this to
the state has a website now where you can do it on their website, you can upload it to their website. But we would need a copy either mailed to us or sent to us as well.
thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Parker,
Yes, ma'am.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thank you. So you filed an appeal on your property located at 1308 Evelyn Avenue.
Yes.
And the total assessed value and you filed the appeal for the 2025 assessment. And the assessed value is 278,200. And you believe the assessed value should remain at 268,200, the 2024 value.
I do, and for the simple fact that I'm looking to retire next year,
Okay,
and I built this house with these 2 hands in '99, just before my first daughter was born, and we are 26 years later, and I haven't done anything new to the house at all.
okay,
Other than it had to have a new roof put on it last summer, so. That's the only thing that's been done to it.
okay.
But, and I think that I'm worried that I'm gonna get taxed out of my house, basically. The higher it goes, the more the taxes go up.
I understand.
And I understand everybody's in the same boat, but can't hurt to try to appeal it, can it?
No, that's why you have the opportunity to appeal. So, John, do you have any testimony?
You are receiving a homestead exemption,
Pardon me?
or do you receive a homestead exemption on this?
Yes,
Okay, just to make sure.
yeah, I built it in '99. Had to refinance it in 2005 to get my ex-wife's name off of it. So the home exemption, that home, what did you call it?
Homestead exemption,
Homestead, yeah, that's still on.
yeah. Cause,
I believe
without,
it is.
your taxes might really be high without that, but with the homestead, that should keep it a little more reasonable. For this property, it actually went up less than 5%, which is quite a bit less than the standard. The average increase for our county this year was about 8.4%, I believe. And yours only went up less than half of that. But I did go ahead and do a comparable sales analysis, which I think I gave you a copy of. I'll go ahead and give you another copy now.
Yeah, if you gave it to me, I misplaced it. Thanks.
Michelle, can we see a picture of the please?
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
These are the 7 most comparable sales in the city of Knox, with the key characteristics that affect value in blue shape, text columns. And the yellow shaded row underneath those sales, there's like 7 sales, shows the average, figures for each of these categories. So the average effective year build is 1996 compared to year 1999. The average grade is actually lower than yours. That's the quality of construction. Otherwise, they're good. They're just like yours, multi-story, just like yours. Most of them have a basement. They average a little bit smaller than yours. But overall, these are relatively comparable to yours, but I would say the big difference is that they tend to be a lower quality house than yours. But they're selling for, the average is $116.41 per square foot. So we can compare that to yours. You're being assessed at $278,200 divided by the gross living area that you have in your house, works out to $108.50 a square foot, which is a little bit lower. Now, if you were overassessed, I would expect that number to be higher than the sales, and it's actually a little bit lower. And the sales are actually lower quality houses than yours, so that if they had been similar to your house, that rate would be even higher. So I think this demonstrates that you're not being overassessed if we compare, cost per square foot to the most comparable sales that we can find. And I did this just to try to show if there was, because sometimes I do these and they come up to indicate that we are too high, and if that's the case, I'm forced to concede that we need to reduce some values, but I just don't see that here. And really, I think that's about all I have.
Do you have any questions or comments? Mr. Parker, regarding the paperwork that John gave you or his testimony?
No, I understand it. I don't want it to go up.
I understand.
So I can probably see this happening every year, correct?
Well, your values are going to change. We do trending every year, so they're going to keep up with the market. So, the sales I've seen so far this year indicate, about a 5 to 6% increase, it looks like, which is a little less than last year. But so I really can't say, but probably going to be some increase. I assume there'd be some increase because there's a general upward trend still noticeable in the market and in the sales that I've seen. So, and I can't really relate that to taxes either, because as the values go up, the tax base gets bigger and they can sometimes lower the tax rate a little bit. So often your taxes don't track exactly with your values. But
And they've also made some changes to the homestead that's gonna change things up, so we don't know 100% how that's gonna affect your taxes because of the changes to the homestead. Their attempt is to make the homestead have a greater impact to help homeowners with taxes. They don't know how it'll actually play out.
The legislators are doing that.
Yes, that's already been.
This is beyond, this is beyond
our control. Yeah, that's already passed.
Pardon me?
our state legislators are doing this, so this is beyond our control.
These assessments?
The changes
No,
that they made to the homestead is what they're talking about.
Oh,
change to the homestead. If you have time, maybe you could go upstairs to the auditor's office, just to make sure you have all the deductions that you're eligible for.
It doesn't hurt to check.
It doesn't hurt to check.
Doesn't hurt to check.
where's the auditor go?
So upstairs, and then you're gonna turn to the right. And walk in right there and they'll help you right there at the desk.
Because unfortunately, I understand your position, Mr. Parker, I really do. But unfortunately, I don't see where there are any changes that can be made, so I'm going to make a motion that there's no change in the assessed value for 2025.
Auditor's office, huh?
Yeah, so go upstairs and see if there's any deductions that you're eligible for that you don't know about, that maybe they can apply that will be beneficial to you. Okay,
Yep. It's home.
I understand that. I have a home too. I totally understand where you're coming from.
And like I said, I couldn't find it, just went here and tried.
You betcha.
All right, I'll go see the auditor.
Okay,
Make sure that home pension or homestead.
Make sure you're getting all the exemptions you're.
all that
You
I
might
might
qualify for.
There's different options, and if you qualify for something else, maybe it's not on there. So,
Taxes go up, mortgage payment goes up,
Yeah.
I hear you.
not paid for yet. All right.
Thank you,
ladies and
sir.
gentlemen, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Are we gonna adjourn so I can?
So I will make a motion that we adjourn the PTABOA hearing. Is there a second?
I'll
Thank you. I'm gonna go to the girls' room.
Oh, I gotta get the recordings.
Oh.